And so, continuing with the questions that students ask me, one of the main questions that students ask me: what kind of jobs can you get with a degree in sociology? And it's like, look, folks, the world has really changed in regards to what a BA means, and so therefore the answer to the jobs that you can get for a with a BA in sociology is really big. Like there's a huge range, but it's only because there's really not a whole bunch of people when after they complete their BA who actually work in their discipline. Literally, what BAs have become are like the new high school degree. And so it's like, so even though you may not need all the skills that you obtain when you earn your BA, is become a cutoff point, a very convenient cutoff point for a lot of businesses, a lot of employers to put in there so that they don't have to look at a whole bunch of applications, right? Because if you put just high school required, then there's going to be literally thousands of people who will apply for a job who will qualify for that job. But if you put BA, then now you're talking about like hundreds. If you put MA, then you're talking about 60 or something like that. And so employers are really using this as a way we actually have a term for it. It's called credentialism. And they're really using this to not necessarily for the job. They're doing this in order to cut down the number of applications that they want to look at. And so anyway, so what kind of jobs can you get? A lot of different kind of jobs. What kind of jobs do people mainly get when they get a sociology degree? They normally they go further into school, go to the master's degree, at least a master's degree level. A master's in sociology normally leads to a career in teaching or in research. A master's in social work takes you you get like a state job or you can work for nonprofits and things like that. But those are like the two main pathways that people go into when you get a sociology degree. And normally you have to go into a master's degree level in order to really get those type of jobs. Anyway, next question. Do you think everyone can benefit from a social class? Yes, of course. But there's a very real reason why I believe this. If I think, look, I know this is going to sound weird for some folks, but I really believe that if the world thought more sociologically, like in a bigger sense, understanding the relationship, using our sociological imagination, which is an awareness of the relationship between an individual and the larger social forces that can affect their lives and the lives of others. If we really thought that way, if all of us thought more like that, I really believe that the world would be a better place. And so, yes, that's why I really want more people to be invested in a sociological perspective and in understanding sociology. What was one of the toughest obstacles to overcome in my educational career? Doubt. For real. Honestly, there's times when I still doubt myself. I mean, I have my letters behind my name already since 2007. And this is 2018? And there's literally times when I still look over my shoulder like, man, are they going to take this thing away from me? Like, are they going to find out that I hustled my whole way through or something like that? It really is. Like, it really is hard to overcome the doubt, especially when you come from a family that's not immersed in academia, right? It's like my mom was, I'm a first generation high school or first generation college student. My mom raised me. She didn't make it past high school. She made it to high school and stopped. And so, all this doubt because, my mom was, we grew up poor. We grew up poor. And so, my mom, she was always struggling and I always wanted to help, but I couldn't help as much because I was always going to school. And there's this, a lot of doubt comes into your head, whether like this is this really what I'm supposed to be doing? Why shouldn't I help my mom out more and things like that? And so, yeah, the doubt comes in a lot of different ways and forms, but that's a big time one for me. Okay. Any words of wisdom for someone going for a PhD? I'm gonna make that into a whole different segment. Straight up, when it comes to like when you're at the community college level, I think the biggest thing for you to be thinking of in regards to if you're trying to achieve a PhD, don't even think about smarts. Don't even think about skill set, because quite honestly, those are the kind of things that will the skill set you acquire over time, right? It's like if you keep on going through your education, you'll learn how to write better. You'll learn how to think more clearly and all of this stuff in an academic way. But the biggest thing I could probably say in regards to this is just to say you have to have a burning desire to answer a question in an academic way. And so it's like there's got to be this thing that's just like scratching at your mind, like, man, why is this like this? And can I do it academically? And if you can answer yes to that, that's all you need in order to be able to keep moving forward towards your PhD, like straight up. And so for me, it was why? Because I'm Black and Japanese. I don't know if everybody knows that, but now you do. I'm Black and Japanese. My mom is Japanese. My dad is Black. And when I was growing up, one of the questions that I had was like, why am I? So I'm Black and Japanese, and yet I have a very African American identity. As a matter of fact, I solely identify as Black on the United States Census. I'm not telling anyone else how to identify. I'm just saying that's how this works for me. And while people who I was raised around who were Japanese and white identified more with being Japanese than with white. And I'm like, man, why is that happening? And so that became my dissertation, quite honestly. And so where I compared the lives of people who are Asian and white and Asian and Black and how they experience race. And that, obviously I said that in a very, or in an academic way, but before all of that, it was just simply a question of, well, why is my experience so different than these other folks? So anyway, so that's the end of this segment. I'm going to do one more segment of this, and then we're done for this semester. Take it easy, folks.